What's going on, Workforce? And happy anniversary to Shadowbringers. It's been 1 year since the release of Shadowbringers, and I just want to first start this video off and say just how epic the Final Fantasy XIV community can be. In response to the obvious delay for 5.3 getting pushed all the way to August 11th, which is its current tentative date, overall the community's reaction has been overwhelmingly positive, and that is something I think to be celebrated and to be proud of. It's also important to note, kind of on the other side of that coin, it's completely reasonable to be frustrated or disappointed in the fact that 5.3 is so far between 5.2. We haven't seen this long of a gap since Heaven's Word 3.0 to 3.1, and rightfully so. There are definitely people who can find that there's going to be frustrated by that fact. They're paying a subscription to this game. They're really excited for that content, and obviously the situation and issues aside going on in today's world, that being put aside, it is perfectly fine to be disappointed and frustrated. And so we also want to make sure that we respect and understand and have some empathy towards those who might not necessarily be so happy with the fact that it's delayed. I think overall, when you look at just the fact that we have a date, at least a tentative date that we're shooting for, this is a very freeing and very kind of positive thing. And I'm already seeing that kind of reaction in the community. It gives you a time frame so that you can set out like new goals or finishing up your current goals, like maybe leveling up one of the other jobs or trying to finish off your relic for a certain thing. Like it gives you the ability to say, well, that's the date, and now I can kind of plan out my playtime and my schedule so that I can enjoy the game to its fullest without trying to burn out or fear like if I don't get this done this week, well, then next week it's going to end up being a little bit chaotic because maybe the patch is going to come out. I'm always, having that idea of when that's coming really helps, I think, set a good schedule. What it can also do from a positive perspective is the idea that you can go check out other things that the game does itself. Like if you've never done crafting, if you've never done gathering. And not that you have to be forced into doing that to find the fun within the game, but maybe this is a time where you could go and explore that if you so choose. Yoshi P also gives the other option for us to go play something else. He said that time and time again, and sometimes that can be kind of a contentious point within the community, and I can understand that, especially coming from a background within 11, where it's like I want to live and breathe in this world. But Yoshi P, I think, recognizes the fact that sometimes we just need to step away and play something else. And so that's kind of where the thesis or the theme of this video, the main topic of this video comes from, is the question of should you unsubscribe, especially if you're choosing to take that other option and play another game. And so that's what I want to explore here. As always, your questions and comments are valid below. Please let me know what you're thinking. And also, one of the things we're not going to be doing is for those who are frustrated, and I'm not going to highlight their comments on screen because I don't want to accidentally public shame anybody for having kind of an opinion that they feel like they have to unsubscribe. But I want to explore that idea as well. So first and foremost, unsubscribing could be kind of a real personal thing. I think when you look at the idea that we're in this together outside of the whole pandemic, but we're in this game together, all of our subs trickle up into a way that we're supporting the development team and getting the content that we want. However, we do know Yoshi P has already kind of set out a budget. He's already kind of set out a plan and says that, we're not going to get more content for this, but he wants to make sure we get all the content that was planned, and thus we're going to have to delay and see that kind of shift all the way around. If you're not going to be playing this game and you're deciding not to be subscribed, I think that's awesome. I think that's a really good choice for you, and I don't want to shame anybody for choosing to unsubscribe. And also at the same time, if you're choosing to remain subscribed and yet not play, that's perfectly fine too. In the end, don't let anybody bully you one way or another, whether you choose to remain subscribed or you choose not to remain subscribed. But just from a mindset though, just to kind of give you, when we talk about our voice as a player base, not only is our active time in the game going to be something that is measured and reported on and trying to be understood by the developers, because at some point, like when you're talking about millions of people, it becomes very difficult to recognize whether they're having fun with a piece of content or they're not. And we've seen this kind of issue happen over with World of Warcraft, where developers were measuring fun by just the fact that people were doing this content and doing it quite frequently. But the reality and the feeling behind that content was they were doing it out of some sense of sunken cost, and it was just leading to further burnout, and eventually that led to that explosion of I can't take it anymore, I'm done, and things like that. So that's kind of what I'm trying to hopefully help curtail and help avoid is that idea that you just get so frustrated by running the same stuff over and over again, feeling that you have that sunken cost because of your house, because of your subscription, etc. So don't let, regardless of whether you choose to unsub or remain sub, like that's awesome. Like you do you, and if anybody's going to tell you you're wrong for choosing it, like just try to ignore them in that case. The other side of the coin, like when we talked actually about unsubbing, that's also another powerful loud voice and metric that you have. If you love Final Fantasy XIV, which if you're watching this video, I would assume that, like me, we have a great love for this game and the series overall, but you do have a very powerful voice that you can say, hey, I'm not necessarily so happy with the direction the game is going. Now, obviously, pandemic aside, maybe that's something that you should consider because it is a loud voice. We see this happen from time to time, and almost in a way, this could be kind of like, should you return to the game or should you remain playing kind of guide in a way. But essentially, there's a social aspect to the game itself, and one of the things that I think is real critical overall with the state of the game as it is right now, the biggest concern I have isn't for you to find something to do in the game or choose to support the game or not support the game. It's that social fabric that you've either established through your free company and friends who are playing the game, or that essential, that kind of the bigger, broader community that we're all a part of when we're talking about the game itself. Right now, I think that it'll be interesting to see over the next month if there's more and more active people logging in, and it could feel very lonely. And if what you get out of this game isn't necessarily the quests or the story, obviously I think a lot of people like the story, but if you're not actively like, okay, I'm here because I play with my friends, and all of a sudden your friends start to kind of trickle away, maybe try to coordinate that in a group so that way you can guys like plan a return, and you could also plan to step away so that you don't find yourself socially just kind of going through the steps and the motions. Now, if you choose to support the game and remain subscribed, note that you are also, you're supporting the overall development of the game itself. And that is a personal choice that, like, obviously that you need to make. And, I think about this and just like trying to find a way around it, or trying to find the truth and the value and the goodness of it is that, I don't think they were anticipating this delay. I think that they had the transition to all of that. I think when you look at the content and you look at 6.0 and you look at all of this, the more people that we have subscribed to the game, the more people that we actively have supporting the game overall could lead to a bigger budget, but it's not a guarantee. So just note that, and my thought process here is that if you're choosing to remain subscribed and supporting the game, and then at some point down the line you're not feeling like you're getting that value, my concern is like just note that it's not going to be a one-to-one complete thing that, oh yeah, because all these people remain subscribed, that we were getting exactly what we want in a month, in 10 months, in 6 months. But Yoshi P did commit to obviously their entire content roadmap, and we'll probably see we'll probably have a better summer next year because we'll be diving in and going all the way up through 6.0. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. So we talked about unsubbing. I'm just checking over my notes. Some choose to play, choice up to you, and largest, cool. All right, I covered it all. In the end, I think for me, I'm really looking forward to my return. If you guys haven't seen any of the previous videos, I am currently on hold. I've decided to take my money and put it into Final Fantasy XI at this time. I think that was a good choice for me personally. Whether you choose to do something like that, completely up to you. Overall, though, there's a lot of really great games. And especially when we look at this fall lineup, there's a lot of stuff coming out that I'm personally really excited about. And as it relates to Final Fantasy, I think 14 is going to be just fine. And my biggest concern is still that social fabric. So if you guys, especially with your friends, don't have like a Discord or some other social aspect to communicate with your friends and stay kind of caught up, regardless of whether you're playing 14 or some other game, I think hopefully we'll see kind of a stronger bonds that happen around gaming in general rather than one specific game. But let me know what you're doing in 14, or if you're choosing to play another game. I'm curious about that and what you're playing, etc. For me, I've been trying to get caught up on all my Destiny PvE quests for the last 3 years. Just been playing Destiny in a PvP fashion, And so I kind of went to my quest list, and it's a little bit overwhelming. I think I had, when I started, like 50 plus odd quests. So I've been working down the list, unlocking some various exotics, working on the catalyst. Honestly, it's been a lot of fun. And right now I think I'm going to get ready and head over to Twitch, and we're going to be doing the Outriders live stream reaction. So if you want to come hang out, you want to talk about this video, come hang out over there. We're going to talk about Outriders. We'll probably talk about this if you guys want. Link should be in the description, I believe. But regardless, I love you guys. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. And I hope to see you in my next video. But until then, take care. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This video is sponsored by me. If you guys like podcasts and long form content, I hope you check out Ginger Gaming Radio. Link will be in the description of this video below. So if you're still watching this video, thank you, and check out the new channel for more content, and hopefully you enjoy. Thank you.